I am the founder of Intact Kenya, which is operating in Kenya, and it is the Kenyan chapter of the Intact Network, which is educating Kenyans on why male circumcision should be stopped. Male circumcision has caused a lot of harm to the boys and the men who have been coerced to go for the cut. Now we realized there was a lot of damage, especially to married men who have been interfered with in a manner that some of them cannot get an erection, and this is called the erectile dysfunction. While for the young boys, it violates their right to genital autonomy. Our work in the last few years, we have been moving from one radio station to another to educate Kenyans who are listening to the programs of those radio stations. And we usually educate them, showing them some of the benefits of keeping the foreskin, because the foreskin has several functions which some of the Kenyans, actually the majority, do not know. In most of the radio stations we went to at the beginning, we faced a lot of rejection because of cultural brainwashing in our people. And some of the people also had been given false information about circumcision, giving protection on reducing the risk of HIV/AIDS and causing some other diseases like cervical cancer. But as time goes, we have always educated our listeners that cervical cancer is not caused by the presence or the absence of a foreskin during sexual intercourse with a woman, because there are vaccines which are administered to teenage girls to prevent them from getting cervical cancer in future. Currently, whenever we go to most of the radio stations, we are finding that our listeners are agreeing with what we tell them. They are saying that they have seen the consequences of circumcision and it causes a lot of harm in their sexual lives, because some of them are facing problems like erectile dysfunction, that is the inability to get an erection, or getting an erection that does not last to its desired duration. There was a time we went to Siaya County, and one of the women who were listening to us at that time made a phone call live on the radio station, and she said that about 3 of her grandchildren were forcefully circumcised. They were picked on their way from school and taken to a nearby clinic and circumcised without the consent of the parents. So she said that the work we are doing is very good, and actually she volunteered to assist us do the work. That one is currently happening in most of the places we have gone to. In most of the radio stations these days, because we have a lot of information we have acquired through the years, we are able to give factual information to the listeners to convince them that male circumcision should come to an end. And Kenyans are gaining the information and coming to agree with us, and majority of Kenyans are now on our side, saying that just as female circumcision is being stopped through legal measures, male circumcision should also be stopped. We are also thanking the international community who have stood with us, giving us several resources to assist us in our work so that we continue with educating the masses in Kenya. Some of the resources that we have received from the international community of intactivists who are willing to support us are some of the books we have here. We have Unspeakable Mutilations, Circumcised Men Speak Out by Lindsay Watson. We also have this other one, The Final Cut by Jonathan Meddings. Now, we are also requesting the international interactivist community to send us more resources like more books, more cards, and more pens, and more flyers so that we can distribute to the people whenever we go to the radio stations. There was one time we went to a radio station and a doctor called in accusing us of having little knowledge about circumcision. And we just requested him to give us one function of the foreskin, because a doctor who does not know the function of the foreskin should not be a doctor. So we are going to have the Worldwide Day of Genital Autonomy on 7th of May 2024, as this is an annual event which takes place every year. And we wish that the day will go on successfully as usual. So this is our message for the international interactivist community to celebrate the Worldwide Day of Genital Autonomy successfully as we continue educating the people in Kenya. Thank you.